Okay, so in this video, we're going to talk about the Celeste Rivas Hernandez case again. I'm going to first start off by playing a clip. I don't know if you guys have seen this yet. I saw it like last week sometime, and I haven't had a chance to post it yet. Some lady goes in to pick up her car that's been towed, and the guy that found Celeste is the one guy that waits on her. So I'm going to play that for you real quick. It's pretty interesting. She's dressed in a Halloween costume, so it's a pretty intense costume, but okay, here it is.
Here to pick up my car.
Okay, come on in, have a seat on the bench, and we'll be right with you.
I feel stupid.
One eternity later.
I love that this is not phasing you at all.
I found that singer who murdered his underage girlfriend's body like a month ago. Nothing fazes me after that.
Wow.
What?
Jesus. I wasn't expecting that.
What? Tesla, it's that singer David.
Yes. You found it?
Yeah, that was us. And I
Get the fuck
that
was this? The fuck out.
Yeah.
With my progressive app. Of course, won't recognize my face. Cool. No plan. Let's just Face ID is required to continue because stolen device protection is turned on.
No!
What is happening?
Do you have your driver's license?
Yes. I can't. Here's my pink folder with my documentation. Okay. Hi.
Bye. Okay, so I want to read a thing that Legacy posted on Twitter. It says he or she has a nice timeline. I think it's a she, but I don't know. Timeline. Celeste and David, Tesla case, per information publicly available. So January 2nd, 2025, last known photo of Celeste per PI hired by David's former landlord. And that's kind of interesting because I have this post that David made in February, but he talks about the beginning of the year. I'm going to play it in a minute. I'm only finished reading this and then I'll play it. Okay, February 1st, Red Tesla reportedly rented under an associate's name. PI confirmed on Law and Crime interview. No verified sightings of Celeste after January. And here are the photos of that red Tesla. He basically ditched the black one for this new red one. All right, I'm going to continue reading this post. July 29th. Tesla last seen or moved. PI confirmed on News Nation interview. This date aligns closely with official reports that the car had been parked for several weeks before August 27th. Suggesting it was stationary roughly late July onward, consistent with what the PI is confirming. The car sits parked for weeks in Hollywood Hills area where David lived. August 27th, Tesla flagged for a parking violation. September 3rd, official ticket issued. September 5th, car towed and impounded by LAPD after complaints. And September 8th, officers find a body in the trunk. September 16th, remains identified as Celeste Rivas Hernandez. LA County Medical Examiner. No manner of death or cause of death. Deferred pending further testing. The gap, February to July, remains the largest unknown. No verified sightings or communications publicly known from Celeste in that period. What happened to Celeste? Okay, I'm going to play a video now that David posted on February 3rd, 2025. Now, knowing what we know now with what SF investigates, can't find no proof of life after January 2nd, thinking that this murder could have happened or this death could happen sometime January, February, sometime in the beginning of the year. Now listen to what he says. David.
Hey guys, I know I haven't posted on this account in a little minute, but I just had some words to share with you for 2025. Despite all the craziness that's going on, all the turmoil, the natural disasters, the hurt and pain and death and things like that this year, I just wanted to tell you guys not to be discouraged and not to lose hope and not to turn your face from God in these times of evil. And then it seems like just at the start of the year, it's literally January and all this stuff is happening. It's like the most insane, it's February now, but it's the most insane start to a year that I've ever seen. But God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and love and a sound mind. So keep that sound mind, 2025. Stay prayed up. Stay prayed up. Love y'all. I'm going to post more. Peace out.
Okay, so now I want to read this part of an article about what SF Investigates had said of what was found at David's house. I'm just cutting into a part of the article, so this way it cuts in right here. It says, buying or possessing such items does not by itself prove criminal culpability. Fisher names some of the items as heavy-duty trash bags, cleaning supplies, and other materials that he said were noteworthy, given how the teenager's remains were found in the front trunk of a Tesla registered to Burke. He discussed the findings on court TV and said he believed that materials merited closer forensic scrutiny. Fisher also reiterated that he obtained neighborhood surveillance that shows the Tesla being moved before it was towed. Footage, he says, raised questions about who drove the vehicle and when. Considering the LAPD may have initially suspected someone else driving who was not pictured in the footage. So I wonder what that means. It says that part right there, consider that LAPD may have initially suspected someone else driving who is not pictured in the footage. I'm thinking what that means is that it wasn't David driving, and that's probably who they are suspecting, but it wasn't David. And from what SF Investigates has posted, it sounds like he's saying it was Neo, allegedly. Okay, so now I want to talk about what SF Investigate said a couple weeks ago when he was talking about going through the house that they were staying at and finding something in there that he won't say, but he said it's some sadistic stuff. I'm going to play the clip and then I'm going to give you my thoughts on maybe what he's talking about.
No, okay. I don't have any information of how she died or when exactly she died. Listen, investigations are always moving, and right now I tend to believe it happened a while ago, a long time ago. And I think January, February, things change. I mean, you can see it in the photos and everything. And I also think when I first started looking at this case, I'm very much an Occam's razor type of person where I think things are a lot easier than people try to make them sometimes, especially online, into these big things. And I thought this was going to be a tragic overdose, which it very well still could be. And they made a bad decision because they didn't want to expose a potential relationship and put her in this Tesla. And then maybe he thought he could get somebody to get rid of that car. And they were just like, no, I'm not doing it, and just got left there. But I will say this, there are some things that, and I'm talking physical evidence that was at that house that is, there could have been greater plans as far as getting rid of her. And it's scary, sadistic stuff. And that's why we're trying to learn more about that. I wish I could say more, but for obvious reasons I can't. But it doesn't have to do with how she died, but maybe how they were planning on ultimately getting rid of her, and how maybe that Tesla was just a holding spot at the time, and things just, their timing was just off as far as getting this done. But there's a few things that were just like, will blow your mind.
Okay, so he talks about the sadistic stuff, and it's more what the plan would be to get rid of the body. And then in other interviews, he talks about it like it's like one big thing that he's talking about, right?
So, it's not a crime to think about doing certain things, but we found some things that had been delivered to the house that just don't belong there, don't belong in any type of environment like that. And they are things that you could use to get rid of a person if you wanted to. And they're really, people say, oh, it's got to be tools and stuff. It's beyond that. It's really sadistic stuff. Now, LAPD didn't take it, but they have told us that they photographed it. But again, that's not a crime, just ordering these things,
It is concerning to me that so much stuff was left behind in the house that Steve was collecting, as evidence, because he's working for the homeowner. Some of this stuff that Steve and I have talked about offline, it's weird. I'm sorry. It's just strange that the LAPD didn't take this stuff with them when they had their search warrant.
I think it's a coffin. I think they found a coffin there and the reason I feel like maybe that they didn't take it, the cops, because he probably told him, hey, I bring a coffin on stage on my tour. So if you guys aren't aware, he uses a coffin, at least on his tour he did. He'd bring a coffin out on the stage and use it for like a tour prop. And he actually got real coffins. So let me play just a little clip from News Nation where they talk about it, but you could find it in a lot of videos and articles and stuff, especially at the very beginning when this first happened. People were talking about it because, you know, they were trying to learn about, you know, who is this guy? So I think he had a coffin, and it probably was just like probably for his tour. At least he could sell it like that. So he has an excuse to have it. I'm not saying he wasn't planning on using it, but I'm just saying legally he probably did talk that away, like, hey, that's a tour top. Like, that's a tour prop. Like, you could look at on my tour and videos. I use it on tour. Now, I'm not sticking up for David. I'm saying that's probably what he's saying. If it is a coffin, what do you guys think? Do you think that's what it is? Because SF Investigators made it seem like it was something big, like one big thing, then it would be used after the fact to like get rid of the body.
Not only that,
uncomfortable.
Charles, you know, he is apparently, you know, he'd been selling these blood-spattered T-shirts.
Blood-splattered shirts, yeah.
Yeah, a casket on the stage, part of the act. Then there's music video with a body being put into a trunk. Again, none of it would stand up in a court of law, but looking at all of these things together, it does give you a picture of somebody whose mind works a little differently.
I want to play one more clip. I just seen it in the middle of me editing this, and they say it's actually two big things that they found. I think one of them's a coffin. Don't know what the other thing is, but let me play you this clip where SF Investigates goes on News Nation.
Earlier, a person at the house wearing the same thing.
And I know that the viewers right now are screaming at the TV set saying, Ashley, ask him who it was.
I mean, I honestly wish I could tell you. I don't want to, you know, I don't want to interfere with LAPD on that. And I think that, you know, that's coming because we know a crime was committed 100%. You know, somebody concealed her body, and, you know, hey, maybe the reason I don't want to say the person's name is because maybe this person was just someone that was asked to move the car, you know, and didn't know. I find that very hard to believe, and I doubt that's the case. But just in case, I'd rather LAPD make that announcement.
Well, and it's important for us to tell viewers as well that you turned all this material over to them. You're the one who found it. You're the one who took it to them. You're the one who said, and I connected it to the photos from just 12 hours earlier, and here's the clothing. It looks like this could be an ID. July 29th, important because that was the last day that David was in Los Angeles, right? But before he went off on his tour. So he was there in Los Angeles on that day that drive happened.
Yeah, I've seen on his public social medias, he had put a video out where it was the first day on their new tour bus because they were going to San Francisco, I believe, for the first night of the concert series, and they did a video from inside the tour bus. So I believe hours after that car was moved, they actually got on the tour bus and headed to San Fran.
Let me ask you this, and I only have a couple seconds left, but you found some other suspicious things. The landlord, as you know, we obviously know now, allowed you into the house, and you saw some things in there that were very uncomfortable and very suspicious. I know you can't say certain things, but what can you tell us about what you saw inside the house?
Well, and this is the landlord found it also, but there were some things in there that were hard to think about because these would be items that would be used if you wanted to get rid of a body, and there's really no other purpose for them at a house like this or anything. And they're expensive items, and so they weren't jokes, and but they weren't used. I'll tell you that they were still in the box. So I don't know how much we'll find out about that in the future because you can't charge somebody for thinking about doing something. But I think that they had a plan.
But it's important to know, because the first thing I said when I learned of that was that, well, that can't be possible because the LAPD raided the place and took everything. But you know for a fact that they photographed those things, and they're huge and heavy and expensive, and so they have ample information and photographic evidence of those things.
They said that we inquired about this, and they said that they photographed it. I don't know why they didn't take it. There's two items. I don't know why they didn't take them, but they said they photographed them.
Steve Fisher, I got to cut it there, but I got to have you back. That's just a lot of information and a lot of reporting.
Okay, so I'm going to play this clip from an interview that David did that I found kind of interesting. Tell me what you guys think. Here it is.
Let's make this more random. All right, cool. If you could describe yourself as a pizza topping, what would you be?
Ooh, pineapple.
Why was that so quick?
Because because I learned something the other day. I was wondering like why every time I eat pineapple, my cheeks would burn. It's because pineapple has a chemical that eats away at your flesh while you eat it. So I describe myself as a pineapple because I eat away at your flesh. You ain't know that.
I mean, I didn't. I'm not gonna lie. That is a fun fact of the day. The fact that you resonate with that and you resonate with Aaron, everything's making sense.
Eddie, come on. And that's why I can win Fortnite matches. That's why I can win Fortnite matches.
Oh snap! All right, cool.
Okay, not a normal answer. I'm sorry. I mean, I know the only way we have to look at this is like knowing what happened, so we can't not look at it a certain way. Like, let's say we would have watched that interview before this whole thing would happen. Would we have thought it was as weird? But it did happen. That's the thing, and it most likely he is connected to it in some way. And for somebody, sometimes somebody could say something like that and they're just messing around. But knowing what we know, that takes on a more serious concern, because we know maybe he isn't joking. Like, you know what I'm saying? Not knowing that, we could think, oh, they're just messing around trying to get a reaction. But now there's a good chance that he's just got a twisted mind, Man, my chair makes all this noise. I hate it. Okay, it's getting worse now. I know you guys hear it. Okay, so what am I going to play next? Ooh, I want to play this interview, or not an interview, but this clip I found. It was a TikTok, and I thought it was kind of interesting. I'm going to see what you guys think of what she has to say.
Why didn't anyone say anything to David when he was with Celeste? She was clearly a child, and so many people knew they were together. Why didn't anyone say anything? Because no one ever does in the music industry. No one ever cares. Hillary Duff was 16 when she started dating 26-year-old Joel Madden from Good Charlotte. They're literally on a red carpet. Multiple people knew about this and nobody cared. This one I think we all know. Elvis is dead. Presley is still alive. They met when she was 14 in Germany. I don't know how old Elvis was, but I'm going to assume he was somewhere in his mid-20s, I think. And then when she was 17, she came to Los Angeles and went to high school, and he had guardianship over her. And then they got married in their 20s, and they didn't have sex until they were married. Again, it's a repeated pattern. This is Prince. I'm probably going to pronounce her name wrong. Matea Garcia. She was 16 in Germany. What is it in Germany? He met her, I think she was at his concert. He saw her dance, and that he gained guardianship over a minor and moved her into his house, and then they got married in her 20s. This is Aaliyah at 15. This is R. Kelly. I think R. Kelly was either in his late 20s or early 30s. They were on tour together, and multiple people knew that this grown man was graping this child, to the point where in a documentary surviving R. Kelly, the bodyguard confesses to forging birth certificate to make her be 18 so they can get married. Allegedly, because Aaliyah's family to this day deny that ever happened. It's extremely sad what happened to Celeste, but it is not uncommon. It happens repeatedly in the music industry. I wish people would say something and speak up, but they never do in the music industry until it's too late.
Okay, so now I want to read a post that SF Investigates posted October 25th, and he's basically kind of calling out Harry Levin for kind of misrepresenting stuff he said. So here's what this says. It says, so I honestly have no idea how Harvey Levin from TMZ and attorney Mark Garagos can blatantly misrepresent what I have said. Today they are claiming that I identified the driver of the Tesla on July 29th because there was only one key to the house and one key to the Tesla, and that this somehow allowed me to isolate the person responsible. I have been very clear from the beginning that I identified the driver through surveillance footage. The individual was wearing something highly distinctive in that footage, and the exact same clothing was worn approximately 12 hours earlier inside the house when several people were present for a get-together. How anyone could extrapolate from that statement that there was only one key to the house and to the Tesla, and that this is how I identified the driver, is beyond me. For the record, an app can be used to grant driving access or remote start, so the one key theory isn't even logical. And Mark, I never claimed David or Josh didn't have duplicate keys made. Likely they did. I said the owner provided one physical key for security reasons, and that whoever had been given access to the house through duplicate keys David had made likely also had access to the Tesla. That was also said before I obtained the surveillance that shows who was driving. Finally, I completely disagree with Harvey's assertion that if the medical examiner rules the cause of death undetermined, the district attorney can't make a case. The cause or manner of death has no impact on a concealment of a body charge. That crime happened, full stop, and there is surveillance video with significant evidentiary value. A concealment charge does not evaporate because the autopsy cannot determine a specific cause of death. I believe both of you are smart enough to understand this. You are simply creating drama for the sake of your show. And then he links that video of them that he's referring to. So let me go back to the beginning of the statement here. I want to point something out. So he talks about how he did identify the driver July 29th. I mean, that was the date that he said that the car was moved, and that was, probably Celeste was already in there when the car was moved to the spot that it was found and towed from. So the video that I did prior to this, talking about who Neo is, I talk about how they're together on the 28th and the 29th partying. So this is what he's talking about here. He said, where it says, I have been very clear from the beginning that I identified the driver through surveillance footage. The individual was wearing something highly distinctive in that footage, and the exact same clothing was worn approximately 12 hours earlier inside the house when several people were present for a get-together. So this is pictures from the get-together, in my opinion. I mean, it's got to be, because it says the 28th, and then one of the dates says 29th because it was later on, past midnight. So it was like they're, having a little party or get-together on the night of the 28th, and then it led into, 29th after midnight. So these are the pictures from that. How crazy. And then SF Investigates sees the surveillance footage that next day where this person, which allegedly it seems like he's saying is Neo, moved the Tesla. And then they got on the bus and went on tour. Left Celeste in the trunk of the car. Then I want to point out this picture. This is July 30th. You can see they're in different clothes than the night of the 28th and 29th. So this would be the next day after they moved the car. And it says, tour starts today, baby. I'm getting naked on stage. So therefore, it makes sense that they got on the bus on the 29th, but then wherever they had to go, they drove the bus to wherever they had to go, and now they're there on the 30th, and they're getting ready to start the first show. And then there's this other picture on the 31st of him and Neo that says, so you see July 31st, it says, first show of tour, baby. We went Hello Kitty on them. My heart is full. Please throw more Labubus on stage. So the 31st, they had already had their first show, and now he's saying they went Hello Kitty on them with it, which is kind of freaking really messed up if you think about it now. Because the day before, or the 29th, right before they left on tour, they freaking went and basically got rid of Celeste's body. I mean, they moved the car with her body in it. She loved Hello Kitty, and his first night on tour, he went Hello Kitty on them. I'm not sure what that means. He probably just wore the Hello Kitty. Maybe he wore like Hello Kitty stuff on the tour, or he said something about Hello Kitty. I don't know. But he's with him and Neo and says that. And I don't know. It's just messed up. And then here's another statement that he makes about TMZ on October 25th, the same day. He says, I listened to a few more minutes of the TMZ YouTube segment. Harvey Levin and Mark Garagos are both clowns. Literal clowns. They're now saying this is all coming down to toxicology and that I supposedly have it all wrong. I have said in every single interview that toxicology is exactly what we are waiting on, and that this is setting up to be an accidental death with charges only for concealment of a corpse. What's happening here is that these two boy geniuses are flipping their story to match mine and trying to gaslight me. Let's remember, Harvey and TMZ are the ones who started the whole dismemberment rumor. I'm the one who obtained a statement from the medical examiner's office proving they were wrong. And only then did they back off that narrative. So here's another post SF Investigates made calling out TMZ again, basically. He says, this is October 26th. He says, because TMZ is publishing wildly inaccurate information in the Celeste Rivas Hernandez and David case, here are a few facts. Harvey refers to the house as a party house. In the entire span of the lease, there was only one written complaint, a noise complaint at AM on July 20th, 2025. I have the body cam video from that incident and have attached a short clip from it. The complaint originated because 4 girls were outside waiting for their Uber and were being loud. There are no other complaints. Did David often have people over? Yes. He's an entertainer and was paying through his manager a large amount to lease a very large house. Of course, a single 20-year-old living in a beautiful home in the Hollywood Hills is going to entertain. That is not illegal. Spreading lies for the sake of entertainment news will not bring us closer to the truth about Celeste's death. If this was a tragic accidental death such as an overdose, which I have maintained from the beginning, then anyone and everyone who knew about it and participated in concealing her body needs to be held accountable. If this was a homicide, then the person or persons responsible must be held accountable, as well as anyone who helped conceal her body afterward. And most importantly, we must not overlook the crimes committed against Celeste as a minor by an adult male. Unfortunately, I have little faith in the LA County District Attorney's Office to pursue that charge. Every single person who meets the legal burden to be charged with a crime, no matter what the crime, should be charged in this case. This involves a 14-year-old child in the company of adults. She was not of age to consent, and they were of age to be held accountable. And they should be, every one of them who meets this threshold of having committed a criminal act. Attached is a short clip of body cam I'm providing as proof of the after-hours party that resulted in the only documented noise complaint. There were many documented complaints from houses nearby that are Airbnbs, but not the house David was staying in. Here's an article that must have interviewed SF Investigates. It was LA Mag. This isn't the whole article. I just wanted to read this part of it. It says, Fisher also revealed information from a close source indicating that Rivas was spotted at parties alongside David and her own siblings as recently as this past summer. Now, I'm a little bit confused. Is he saying that she was spotted with David and her siblings together? Which would mean they would be hanging out with David and her and Celeste? Or are they saying she was spotted alongside parties with David and then parties with their siblings? What do you guys think? I'm not sure. It can be taken either way, in my opinion. Then it says, this revelation raises more questions about her status during periods when she was listed as missing, as well as the recent September 2024 footage that TMZ obtained of Rivas at home with family. An active missing persons report had placed her in the National Crime Information Center. That's troubling because nobody cleared her, Fisher emphasized. Why wasn't law enforcement notified that they had eyeballs on her? They knew where she was at. That's not the way this is supposed to happen. Her family was in touch with her and had an idea where she was at, and that's a real problem. The investigation remains ongoing with the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner yet to determine the cause or manner of death. So yeah, that's messed up, especially for, I don't know if they're saying that she was partying with her siblings and David together, but either way, it was messed up when that video came out of her at home arguing with her neighbors last July 2024 when she was supposedly missing and they never said she was found. And at the beginning of all this, the family act like she's been missing the whole time. Like when this whole thing with her being found in the trunk and they started, a couple of them came out. They never acted like they had found her. So I don't know. Something's a little weird about everything. It might be just as little as it might be just that they couldn't keep track of her and she kept disappearing but they should have reported it to the cops. Hey, she came back. But maybe they figured she was going to leave again. But still, that's your kid. So I don't know. I have mixed feelings about all that with her family. So I'm going to play a clip right after this came out. The news came out about the body being found. Jason the Ween, which did a song with David, he came out on his Instagram and talked about how there's no way it was David, he was framed, blah, blah, blah. And then he recently put a statement out retracting that. So I just wanted to share that with you. So here's the original Instagram where he was saying there's no way it was David.
He didn't kill anybody, bro. He didn't kill anybody. There's no way. There's no way he's been on tour. He didn't kill anybody. He's been on tour. He literally performed yesterday. Bro, do you see the videos that he makes? There's no way he's killing somebody. He was framed. Either he was framed or my theory is somebody killed someone and stole David's car and left it in the trunk. He didn't kill anybody, bro. He didn't kill anybody. There's no way. There's no way he's been on tour.
So here's a video that he did where he retracts that statement.
I feel like I need to speak on this. Okay? Be serious for a minute. Because the narrative that's been spun on Twitter. First off, I want to retract my statement. Obviously, the other day, I was defending David. Before all the new evidence came out, I do not condone anything that David has done or is doing, okay? That is wicked and it's just unbelievable. It's been a lot to process. And one more thing, I want to say, the girl that I met named Celeste at the Faze house is not the same Celeste that was killed. RIP to that girl. But yeah, condolences to that girl and her family. That's just horrific. But yeah, let's just move on, bro. All right, I feel like I need to say that because a lot of Twitter pages, random kick pages, throwing my name on the bus, no jumper, all this bullshit. Random unreputable news pages just trying to get clicks and all this other shit. One thing I also want to add to the David situation. I did not know anything. I'm not even close friends with David. I made a song with him. All right, I had dinner with him one time in a group setting, and they motherfuckers saying I'm best friends with him. No, bro. That's insane.
And he did a stream with him, though. I'll play a part of that where he did it with David.
Hey!
Privacy vibes.
First time here.
Yeah, first time.
Good, bro.
What's
You good?
What's going on, twin?
Man, let me give you the floor, bro. This is our dog right here. You know, straight into it. This is what? This is FaZe Milo.
What? Hi, Milo.
He knows how to attack. Look, ready? Attack! Attack!
He's not doing nothing.
He was doing
nothing. Milo too sweet.
I'm training Milo to be a hunter dog.
He's not doing nothing.
He's gonna be a hunter dog. I'm gonna train him. See, you soften him up, I'm gonna toughen him up.
Bro, I want a dog so bad, bro.
It's a lot to take care of, even though I don't do anything. I know Lacey does everything. I mean, look at everything. You gotta get him a cage. You gotta do all this shit. Well, all right. Next up, let's just show off the backyard. Yeah, this is Lacey's room. Real nice. The house is very quiet and empty today.
Word.
That's pretty rare, to be honest with you. Oh, you pulling up to the
party? Yeah, I'm coming. I might do a little DJ thing. You know?
Deadass?
I might.
You know how to DJ?
Yeah. I'm gonna just like.
He knows
I'm
how to
gonna leech
DJ.
off his extra. Last time I played basketball with y'all.
I hate you, bro. A long ass time ago.
What, 6 months ago?
Yeah.
My hair was mad short. I was so faded that day.
You was doing mad backflips too. Yeah, backyard. Backyard pool. That's Max's thing right there. The pool is nice. You know, it's
sauna.
This shit, yeah, this is the sauna right here.
That's not no sauna.
It's a sauna in progress. Pool, July 4th.
I'm getting the sauna built in my crib right now.
Oh shit, okay.
Need that.
Pool will be utilized during the July 4th party.
For sure.
It's a day party, so I will be jumping in naked. What else? Oh, there's mad spiders here, so be careful.
Okay.
And then we got the living room, where the meetings happen, where we be chilling. You know, where
Planning your business this thing.
yes, business is done here.
Meetings and things
Zoom
like that.
meetings, all this other shit. production over here. We got the kitchen right here. Movies are made in the kitchen. Okay? I'll be honest, yo, Adapt not pulling up. Should I eat this food? Weird. I don't know, but it looks mad good. You think you'll be mad? Nah. GG Milo. Lopi's there, chat. Chill. You need a water?
I would love a water.
Okay, I got you. Or maybe a milk shot?
I'm lactose.
Same. But yeah, kitchen right here, barely used because we use Uber Eats. This shit barely used. I think this is like a wine.
It's a wine cellar.
Wine cellar. This was a setup. Probably gonna be used later. Now, Adapt's room is fully fucking boxed in, so I can't even show you this shit.
Crazy.
He's got a Zoom cam on it. What's his password, chat? Come on, this is some Adapt shit. I know Adapt.
Does this come with the door? Or he put it in it.
Huh?
Does this come with the door? Or he put it on it.
He put it on it. This is a fake door.
No way.
It's a fake door. No, look, watch. I know how to bypass this. Look. You see the footprints? I mean, fingerprints?
What? Ain't no way.
Fuck, wait. No, I'm gonna try the other one. Watch. I've seen this on TikTok. Page right here.
What's the Wi-Fi, bro?
Oh yeah, guys. It's phase. This shit should work. You see the fingerprints? Fuck, it's like fucking scattered.
I see something on the 8. I see something on the
8, mad 8 presses. 8-0. 809. Fuck, I'm not gonna get it. Alright, let's go upstairs.
Okay, so if you want to see the rest of it, it's on that Jason the Ween's YouTube channel. It was uploaded July 3rd of this past year. So it would have been a month before he went on tour. Or a little less than a month before he went on tour. And possibly Celeste is already gone at this time because SF Investigates thinks that January might be when it all happened. Who knows? Hopefully we'll get some answers. But I have a few more David videos coming out. I'm almost done with the next one, so be looking for it. Just trying to break them up into like a little bit shorter videos. So I'll see you on the next one. Have a good one, everybody. Bye.
I've got a secret nobody knows. I don't wanna keep it, so lean in.